back to Guesswork Gaming. We're doing some more painting on Yndrasta. The Sigmar's Huntress. So here we go. This is how zoomed out are we? We're pretty zoomed out. Okay, so last night we did the majority of the metallics. Got the Xanathar as a base. Obviously, I'm doing, as you can see, doing some assemblies to make my life easier. You don't have to, but certainly it's going to make your life easier when you do like the inside of the cloak and the back of the arm and like the legs and stuff like that. So if you can, do it. If you can't, look it up. Give it a little browse. You go. There's tons of guides on how to do it. It's nice and simple. Give it a bash. You don't have to, but it's a handy tool to have. So if I just zoom in, this is our progress so far. This is my first Stormcast model. And here we have the levels of goals we've started with. I'll just quickly run down what we've done basically last night. So we started off with the Xanathar, as you see from the tree in the cloak. This is where we started with. And then we've done Vallejo Metal Color, Color, like the American spelling. Gold as first. Then we've done a wash of Reichen's shade, flesh shade gloss over the top to darken it down. So you see some of these. To make my life easier, if I've got a paintbrush to point to these areas, you'll see something like these, like the recesses here, like in the abdomen. Like the lower down areas here, and also things like towards like the back of the armour, legs like here. See the darker areas where it's been washed down to give it that duller, but not like taken away from the metallics. That's why it's the gloss version. And then from there we've done a highlight of the gold again, so the Vallejo metal colour gold. Then we've done a highlight on top of that this is like the raised areas, and then on top of that we've done like a more defined highlight on the lines, the very most sort of peaks of the raised sections, which was a mix of gold and chrome from the Vallejo metal color range, and then a tiny bit of just chrome, which has gone like along the tops of these armor sections here, for instance, the very tops of the spines, things like that. And in fact, if I do, can you see how far can you see it? Sort of you can see where we've basically gone for like these higher sections are very like chrome white gold almost. That's what we've aimed for. So that's where she stands currently. I fought with the airbrush, and it says at the moment I can use it. It's like dealing with like your own little possession. Like today, you can have a bit of a fiddle around with it just for the stream. So this is where we got. See, most of the metallics done. We've got to do the chrome highlight on all of the steel. So this part of the spear, the blades, the weapons themselves, the comets on the top and the bottom, and the scale mill, and that's it for that's probably it for the metal, which is kind of cool. But while the airbrush is my friend, we're going to make a start of the cloak. So let me just guess where. So we're going to start off dark and then work our way up. That's what we're aiming for the cloak. It's just same scheme as the box art. So it's red for the cloak, and like some of the gems. We've got like the brooch part of the armor there. I forget what they're called. They've got a specific name, that part of the portion, like the hangs down normally. I can't remember. I'll shake this up a bit more. And the top one, and the jewel in the spear. But give us a good old shake. It's looking a little bit dark and ominous out my window. So I'm a bit like, I don't know whether we'll have a thunderstorm Had a lot of thunderstorms recently. It's been kind of cool. But, definitely feels like it's really really humid. So we're starting off with what do we start with? This is Scarlet Red from the Vallejo Game Air. If you're not familiar with like the way the main lines, we've got Model Air and Game Air, like the bread and butter of the Vallejo Air range. So they're all done for airbrushing. So they're super thin and nice and smooth. You don't have to do them with airbrush, like far from it. They're lovely to use if you don't, because they're nice and thin and you just get to do a lot of lovely work. Now we had the airbrush working. There we go. Let's get a little bit more mixing. Yeah, there's the Model Air is like more of a range for, I guess, like historicals. But like, yeah, if you want like the right colour to paint your Panzer tank or your French military unit, yeah, what colour are their backpacks going to be? You know, that sort of thing. That's the difference, basically. There we go. Right, okay, we've got a good flow suddenly. So that's the difference, and then the Game Air is more of like a fantasy style. It's a lot of speckling out of this. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more tweaking before I put it on the wall. Here we go. Okay, cool. So this is what did I say? Scarlet Red. So we're gonna start just like nice and thin. Looks very thin, in fact. Looks like very watery. I don't know if I've mixed it in a little bit too much, but we can work on that in a minute. I'm not going to worry too much about the back section. Yeah, that's definitely like over thin there. It's coming out as it wants to. So we're going to ditch for a second, reload the cup, have it a little bit thicker. Balance there, trying to make sure it's coming through an airbrush that is unhappy with its owner versus being too thin, being like speckly or spiderwebby because of it. So let's see if that's looks a bit better. Okay. So we're gonna have a bit of a quick pass over to here. So we can avoid most of the flip side of the cloak. So I need this for a second. It's mainly pumping out paint rather than air, even when I'm pressing just the air. But as you see here, it's nice dark colour to start off with. Looking at this top section there, this is pretty much all as it should be. A little bit of overspray off it. Just after trying to think, after this model, this might be the last one that actually gets this here brushed on. The next lot might be a brief wait while this one gets serviced. So it's just pinned at the moment, just to make my life a little bit easier. Like I said, you don't have to. I'm just gonna wait for that layer to dry quickly. While we're here, we'll do So I'm not going to do it with the airbrush because I'm having issues. So I'll not punish myself by trying to. But what I will do, get just a little bit of red out of the brush. Put it aside, the actual airbrush for a minute. While we're waiting, we're just going to collect these little sections here. The comet sort of body, I guess. So again, this is Scarlet Red from the Vallejo game egg range. I've dipped that way too far in, not be able to see where it was. It's, got there, and then in the center here. If I turn this a little bit, got this gem. She's got a reverse on it. It's quite hard to see where the gem is compared to where the housing and the casings are. But we've got the majority of it. Dramatic music on it, yeah. Is that a bit better? So just getting a little bit more onto the front section. A lot of people watching football, no doubt, like in my neck of the woods. And never been a football fan, but got to be said, hats off if there ever has been a team to like support and to do good things. This year's England team are them, so fair play to them. At least there's a positive out of the game. So I'm just going to clean up that brush, chuck it back in the box. Get it. Not let my water carry running. There we go. Get the airbrush running again. So, back to the cloak. See, like it's pretty much dry. It's like one of the huge advantages of airbrushing is everything just dries so quick. Just lets you get through a model, get through a batch of models pretty quickly. Yeah, you see that the red really starting to show. We'll go into these darker areas here. Get the compressor kicking in. These dark areas will just naturally hold the shadow a little bit better. Also, we've got done the zenithal in the first place, so it's going to just naturally be easier to keep this area dark. Turn around. And then from here, we'll basically work a little bit to bring up the red. We can. On some of the areas, I guess, like something like the diamonds, the gems, we might do like a bit of a shade on it, like some null. But the cloak itself here should be just working with the airbrush really. So it's gonna some fixing. There we go. Got it again. You can see there's going to be like this little bit where it's crossing over, but that's going to get done over in white before I do much on it. So I'm not going to, certainly not going to worry about it. But we've got like a nice deep red. Start off with, do one more pass if the airbrush allows. Come on now. One more pass. All the way down there. So this is like the darkest of the reds, and then we'll bring it up from here. As we see some of the recessed areas going to naturally just be capturing the shadow, so I need to do a hell of a lot on there. We've got these like runes on the back of the cloak. It's going to come back to those once we're working on the inside. But basically, that's it for now. So we need to be on that. And from there, we're going to put in some bloody red as the highlight. Which we'll put straight in. So we're going to leave the paint in the cup on purpose. Intentionally leave the paint in, so we're going to do a mix basically, and as then the bloody red sort of takes over, you'll see it a little bit brighter. So just mix it in. Should be able to see like it's a nice, bit more of a vibrant red. This will be again, we'll just pick it up through. Wait for the red to come through enough. See what I do if I show you the it's like a nosebleed that's happened. You see like the darker area here, just the red on its own. We're basically just slowly working through, so this should get lighter pretty quick. So you can do a little bit of work there. There we go. And then, yeah, we're gonna just start picking out these lighter areas, these higher areas, I should say, that will be the lighter ones as it happens. Where we want the red to pop a little bit more. Top sections and like above these folds. Start to see a bit of the change of the colour. We have the darker area here underneath. I'll follow these folds up the length of the cape. The skirt, I guess, right? 'Cause it's not a robe, it's only going from waist down. It's a battle skirt, no doubt. Like, she is one badass looking angel, let's be honest. as my first Stormcast, you know, I don't think I've seen another Stormcast apart from the banner bearer. This fine chap again from Dominion. What's this guy named? What is he? Obviously his head's not there. This isn't attached. I'm not doing something crazy. But yeah, obviously he's again ready in sub-assemblies, because especially the head like presses right against the banner. So just prepped the model ready for so you see 4 bits currently. And he's just there because I want to paint him, because he just looks super cool. Basically. So gonna go rid of that red. Just gonna wash it out a little bit through the airbrush, and then we'll put in a little top up of just the blood red. Bloody red, I should say, right? That's going to be the top layer of the robe. Almost like an orangey tint to it. It's getting tight towards that end of the palette. It's a significant difference between that and like the under robe where it's folded at the back. So just get the paint going through, and off we go. So yeah, this is gonna be like the last areas to do on the cloak of the red. I should say. Obviously, we've not done the other side of the cloak yet, so there's plenty of that to work on. Making sure that this light is coming out. All these robes. Down all these grooves, basically we're looking at this line of light. And there's potentially, once this is all dried off, might do like just a little kind of like an edge highlight almost of probably like a brownish white. A brownish white. the colour theory then failing me hard. Yeah, we don't want to have a very strong white. We want like something to pick up the gleam there. So we're just going to quickly wash out the airbrush. So the red is done for now. I think the next bit with the airbrush, apart from this side we can do, we'll come back to that, it's going to be like the wings. So that's going to be the airbrush. Wash it. Washy. So let's get some quick cleaning in the airbrush. Like, it's working with me better than it has been. But it's definitely not pulling its weight. Yeah, I want to be able to be back in control, basically, which is what it's not doing currently. I don't have that. Don't have that option really at the moment to really go for like the details and stuff. So we'll pop that. We'll pop off the compressor for it, and we'll go back to the model and have a look at what we've got. So I said we've got the wings on the side over there. We've got this degree of red here. We might do. I'll try and paint this straight on and see. Worst comes to worst, there'll be a fix down the line in a minute or two. in a better world, we'll be alright. I've got my hose pipe extension on my tap in here, so I was like a little bit wary about turning it on there. I think we're gonna go for like a bone white, so a little bit like a greyish white to do this. There we go. Just like a tiny line here, just to pick up the very edge. It's not helping that the kitchen paper is sticking to my hand. It's proper like muggy. I don't know what it's like with other peeps where you are. So we're just looking at this very thin line, a little line here. Stop here. See, just these little, very subtle lines in the red. Wash that back off there. Okay. So just like a tiny little bit of a fleck, just to give it a little bit more of a. Should have been a little bit across to this side, but that's a fix for later. So yeah, we've got the basics of the robe, but what we're really working on. The right brush out. Didn't have the right brush. That didn't help. I picked the wrong brush. Next to the one I wanted is the armor. So we're going back to the main body. We've got the gold is pretty much there. The gold up to like that chrome white gold. And we've got some chrome as a highlight to add. So this is onto the steel metallics. So the what is it? The scale mail at the bottom, the armor, like this section here, the scale mail, the comets at the top and the bottom, and then the weapons themselves. So just gonna get this ready to go. I just want like a very, very fine highlight. Get out of my way. Stuff on my desk. So we're gonna start here. So just looking at the edges. The first one's probably gone a bit too much, but I can live with it. Let's see what we're looking for. These edges of the scale, where the light's going to be picking them up. Just like this little bit of detail, basically. And it's not going to take too long. There's not a huge amount of them to do. Some of them are going to be a little trickier than others to get to. So take your time. So you've got plenty of angles to work with. To get behind the different other parts of the armor, and otherwise get away things like the comets themselves. Not worrying too much, just getting this little glint underneath is what we're looking for these the scales. Like if you wanted to, you could probably do this just with dry brush instead. So in a section here that's just going to pick it up. My dry brushes tend to be humongous or tiny. Like if someone hasn't showed you, if you want to dry brush something big, just get like get a makeup brush and save yourself a lot of time and have something. It's just gonna get a good area. My large dry brushes are like bought super cheap. I think it's just off Amazon, and they're just massive to be able to do like terrain and vehicles with, that sort of thing. So what we're looking at is just getting this little bit of a glint of these bottom sections of the steel, and same here, we've got this beautiful snaky line from the top of the comet. So that's what we're looking at. Just checking you can see what I'm looking at as well. Well, there's so many details to this model. It's absolutely, it's lovely to work on. It's kind of cool. Yeah, definitely. These two models are. If you want to start somewhere with the Stormcast and be like, I want to do something beautiful, can't really go wrong with the Dominion stuff. Like the Annihilators look super cool as well. I don't know if people have watched the little like cinematic opening for it, but they're very like Sparta-esque in like it's you can imagine them screaming, "This is Sigmar," and like before they kick someone in the chest, or essentially chop them in half with their shield. Just getting these edges all the way down. A little bit trickier, just because it's tight against the rest of me. That looks okay. And we're doing the section here. So that's what we've got. It's nice. It's just picking out basically of the sections. On one of her, what are these sections called? Like just beneath the pauldron, looks like this, like almost half moon, is more silver than gold. I've noticed on the art. So let's go with that. Worst comes to worst is we've done just a little embellishment in the colour. I'm not sure that's a terrible thing to do. Take my own slight pick on it, which we do. So we've got those. We've got these done already, and then these top comet trails. We'll do the same one. So just picking up this raised section, like the snaky part. just to slide by coverage, just the edge. Get these edges on the other side. Breathe section all the way down. A little bit more. It's not quite coming out enough, so let's just do a bit stronger. Should be able to see that. Across to the other one, the other comet, and then after this, it's obviously the back of the comets, and then the weapons. I think we're on to like the extra little details from there, like her hair, skin. There's a little bit of leather on it, so you have to paint up. There's literally like a belt here and like some straps behind the armor. So nothing's gonna take you like a long time. Let's do it so here. Just picking out this. Trying to paint it while showing you. So it's a bit challenging sometimes. Paint a bit further. This final line on the comet trail. Pick that out again. I'll flip it over. Do a nice quick repeat of that there. All up to the top. Put see, we're just catching that edge, so it's quite quick and easy to do. Do that, and then we're on to the spear. So just going to catch this top section here. These bits of where we've got the steel edge, basically, what we're looking at. And like hard lines where we can bounce the light off. Side there. So, yeah. Just pick up a little bit off the spikes. It's basically, if you see, it's just like coming off the brush. So doing, just picking the line, like it's like a square sort of haft. And as we're doing that, it's basically just getting a little bit of paint onto the spikes along it, which works out just fine. And then we're going to do the same on the top section. Just missed a little bit there. This is almost like a dry brush and we could probably just do this. Probably will do in a bit, and then we're just going to catch this line of spear. I'll just turn it down away from the camera by accident. So we're doing the edge of the spear there. Line up center here, and we might end up doing a little bit of a glow when we come back to it, which will just come from the rune just about where the gem is. A little bit stronger at the top here. Right, I'm doing exactly the same. Just a bit of a little bit of give for sure. Stronger than we want to do the bottom, but we're gonna do glow over it, so I'm not gonna be too much. Get this higher section. Good. It's kind of what we're aiming for, and then we'll do a very similar thing just with the sword. Yeah. Nice and quick and easy. As I said, we've got these gem. These glowing rune sort of sockets above where the gems are. So that's where we're gonna add a bit of a light glow effect to the sword from there. So if we're going over a little bit, it's not going to matter too much. Catch this middle line. Get these glints. If you go watch someone do non-metallic metal, kind of like just feel like you're doing that a little bit. We like just purposefully leading the eye a bit more, where you want the light to be standing out in the middle. The bottom section a lot more subtle. Obviously, it's not gonna. Not actually going to be picking up much light. So, just a tiny bit there. And do it's a bit stronger than I wanted. We're doing these. These glints on purpose here. Like it's a lightning rod, basically. So let's have a little. Okay, so we've got a little bit of the start of the effect I'm looking for on the blades. Let's just go down a little an angle, I think. That's where we are. So that's the metals pretty much sorted. And from there, we've got skin, hair, skin, hair, finishes, gems, glow. We've got things like the scroll work to work on. But yeah, if you're enjoying, come and watch me. Come say hello. Let me know what you're painting. Is this like a joint painting session? It's warm in here. Rocking my Hawaiian shirt. Looks like it could be less. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the transition of the metals. I put a little bit more on this side. Wash it in a little bit. But yeah, we've got these like bright lines to highlight where it's a little bit more white than gold in the armor. So again, we're gonna just do the final like pure chrome highlight here onto this top section, so around face where the light's going to just catch this. Get the very top lines of the breastplate. So we've seen that this is a kind of a more metallic, more silver, more chromy section on the armor. So just work on that a little bit more. Gem. Here, cool. So that's where we're at now. So the metal's pretty done. The cloak is. So let's move this out of the way. Make life easier for the camera. Got that transition of dark into lighter red. Could do like a little bit more of a really extra highlight on the tippy tops. We see like the little bits where the light is picked up that extra bit. So we need to do the bottom of the underside rather of the cloak, and yeah, just start working on like all these extra details basically. So we've got the armor pretty much sorted. The weapons are mostly there. We'll add the glow. But we do need to add some more reds to bits and bobs. We do the haft of the spear, so that's going to be in red, and then we'll put a colour onto that. The gems probably needs like a little bit of a work over. We'll go for nearly an hour, so not bad. Not bad going. It's only it's coming up towards 9:30, so we'll get cracking on the red. So we'll swap over to just do some actual painty paints, some physical painting rather than some airbrushing. I think that's the best we want. So like a lot of paints I'm using are like the Vallejo ones. You don't have to have an airbrush to use it. In fact, as we see right now, we're using them without an airbrush. So don't feel like you you're going to be locked into got to use an airbrush if you want to use these paints. They're just nice paints. You know, you have the advantage of knowing this for this section. Yeah, the advantage of knowing that they're already like nice and thin. You know, you're going to be pretty much ready to go. Just pick up your brush, put them on the palette, and get painting away, which is nice. And obviously, if you are using an airbrush, then you're not going to be stuck going, okay, right, so how many drops of thinner do I need? Do I need some flow improver? What's an accidental heart on my finger? What's the things to miss? You know, there's some paint ranges that are a little bit thicker, that are more likely to cause you problems and jam your airbrush unless you're used to them and careful with how much you're putting on. And likewise, some are just going to be in a better spot for you because they're most of the way there when you just squirt them out of the bottle, which is a nice. I think that saves you that little bit of time. And it's not to say that you don't spend time going out. Like my favourite colour might be like your Privateer Press's Cold Black from P3. And if so, spend some time, work out what the mix is when you want to use it. So you can still use like your favourite paints from other ranges, but I do still have a bunch. I should probably get rid of a lot of them because I do predominantly use the Vallejo stuff, but it's nice to have the fallback, right? Going, oh yeah, I do want to have this. Or if your mate comes around, and you're like, well, I'm sat here painting with my airbrush. You're going to paint something up too. So we're just doing the base red. It's nice solid reds. This is the Scarlet Red for the base part of the spear. Top section's a little bit lighter. Now there's a good amount of colour, like variance in this model, I think, as well. Yeah, you're not just spraying her entirely gold, chucking a wash on her and going done. You know, there's reds, there's leathers, there's glows from blue. Your eyes like slightly glow blue. Obviously there's creams and whites on the inside of like the dress, the cloak, the cape, I guess, and what's like the skin colour, the hair, except the leathers, the parchment. So you've got some stuff to work with. Let's go across. Yes, don't feel like you're not that she's not a complicated enough model, but like if you look at her and go, oh, or Stormcaster a little bit samey, that you just sort of slap on the gold and you're mostly done. It's like, yeah, that is true, but only to a certain extent. Like, you want to work on that gold. You want to get the warmth, the tone. Like the standard ones seem to be like done either in a cross of very shiny gold or very sort of kind of dulled down gold. And I guess that's is that aesthetic? Or is that to do with like the host? Obviously the host is different colours, so there are some really cool ones. sure. Not sure. Could be like the shinier ones, are they just newer? Are they newer off the factory line? Yeah. Are they recently sent into the field, and ones with dull down armor are more likely to be veterans? I'm not sure. So we've got this. We've got the little bit of more red up in the gem on the spear, on the comet sort of gem. Just while we've got it out, just make sure it's going to come across nicely enough. Right. I'm going to be bold, but not like overbearing. One side. Forever. There we go. I think that's the red sections for the main body itself. So per side, we've got these are runes that we'll need to have a little bit of look at, but that's once we've got the white on. So instead we're going to just do concentrate on working up this red we've got going. I want a bigger brush out. So working on this bigger brush, we're just going to want to just get like a little bit more colour here. It's a little bit messy. We're looking to just raise this red here a little bit. And we've got some of the darker red to put in. And I think that should be okay when that dries. So we're getting a little bit more detail there, a little bit more colour for this top section here as well. Just this top red colour, which was the bloody red. Basically just all the top of these folds. Should be enough for us. It's quite hard to see in the light, but in fact, it's just quite hard to see. We have have the ability to look closer. That's what I'm doing here, just across these top folds and lines. Oh, pardon me. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. I'm back out. Right, so I'm pretty happy with the red. So we've got the underside to work on. We've got the majority of done. So we're looking at, like I said, we've got the glows. So we're looking at go from like these runes at the top spear, behind the head. The only glows. And the runes on the sword as well. So both weapons and then behind head. Not on the back so much. But yeah, we've got the skin, the hair, and the scroll work. So we're looking good. Might get her mostly finished tonight. I'll do the wings like separately tomorrow. That might be an option. I won't do the wings separately tomorrow because I'm doing Dungeons and Dragons. I have the pleasure of being part of two different Dungeons and Dragons groups because I am an absolute fanboy for our proper RPGs. Like, I started role-playing games before war games. I have never lost my love. I've done some storytelling for White Wolf when they ran that huge like multi-layer online game. That was really cool. I was in charge of the baddies for Werewolf, the Fomori and the Black Spiral Dancers, and the things. Basically, storytelling, antagonists, and the bad guys sort of arcs, which is cool. And I played God knows how many different games of different systems, but yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. Can't go wrong. Go back to it. And obviously now, like we play physically with one of our games, except for one of our group is a teacher and has just been in contact with like one of the kids sits next to his desk. Has got a positive COVID test. So he's got to isolate, so which means we play remote this week, which is fine. In fact, for this game, here's my character. This is a Kenku rogue. Whistle is my name. So yeah, so they're basically like raven, humanoid ravens that were cursed. We're playing in Exandria, or Wildmount, which is the Critical Role world. So Kenku in like standard D&D are cursed because like they tried to steal something from their raven god, or he thought they were, so he cursed them. Whereas there's a lot more noble in the Wildmount setting, where they were basically like messengers and servants of the Raven Queen, the god, the Raven Queen, Queen of the Dead, but in a non-baddie sort of way. And they gave up their lives, their immortality, to save her when the gods all went to war with each other, which is kind of cool. So we're looking at a couple of sections left. We're just going to do the easy ones first. So we're going to do. This is not brown. We're going to do the browns. So we're going to do some leather. Very exciting. So we're going to start with leather brown. Right, whoever uses the actual stuff, well, it turns out we're using the actual stuff today. This is Vallejo Game Air, leather brown. We only need a tiny amount. There's not a lot of leather on this lady. So we're gonna have a look. So we've got basically this the belt. I'll zoom in a little bit for this maybe. Look at the model, not my hand. The model. There we go. So yeah, we've basically got the belt, which is leather. So it needs to be darker. What do I do need a darker brown shot? Let's do it. It's like a darker brown, so that just looks a little bit too not quite enough there, I think, for this. I think part of that is just because of the brightness of the gold, so we want to have that darkness to pull off against. Oh, I don't know. Right, let's have a look. Okay, right, so we've got a bit of a darker section of the building now instead. We'll do so this is Scarlet Scholar. Dark flesh toned tone mixed with leather brown to get like a nice deep leather. And then we'll do probably like bird flesh as like the highlight on it. Or we were going to do bird flesh and highlight. It might be we actually just do go back to like the leather itself. Flip around. Obviously, it's not going to be up there. See, and on the other side, should check. This probably like metal, but actually most of it will be. Yeah, I think the back is going to end up being this back section. I imagine will be gold and silvers, gold and chrome, gold and steel, and we'll end up not having a lot of leather to worry about. So yeah, we've basically got this little section here on the belt. Bands here. On the back of the gauntlets, and again just get a bit of coverage. Leather there, leather there. That might be it. Is that all we've got? It might be. And so look around the back of the legs. There's bound to be some of this. Got to be leather, right? There's got to be leather here, surely. So put some leather in around the back of the knees. Some of this isn't going to be seen, no doubt. But in case it is, I'll just do it. He's got like a little tiny tiny sort of sections where the buckle is basically just on the side of the armour. these greaves. So that's what I do. So I think that's the extensive brown. There's nothing on there. Obviously your wings are her wings. So that's nice and easy. So you can kind of see it. See that central section there. So that's our brown. We come back and do like a little bit of highlight on it once it's drier. And so we're left with a face, hair, the scroll work, and other glows. So we'll do, I think we'll go on to the hair for now. So it's got very like platinum blonde white hair. So we are using dead white. We've got like the standard white, which is Vallejo model air, and then we've got dead white from Game Colour. Game Air rather. That's what we do. So put the browns out of the way. So we start with just a white. Nothing fancy, just the model air white. So obviously, like any of these paints, you know, it's not going to be super hard to find something of equivalent in another range. Like if you only have Games Workshop paints, that's fine. You know, you can definitely find what you want from the range. If you only want to use, say you've got like a, was it Chimera? Like they've just done like a nice new range. If you've basically got something and you go, oh, I want to use this, no doubt you'll be able to find something appropriate to match. So just doing the hair. Said we're gonna whack on. This is just like the Vallejo white. So you could do like Corvax white or from Games Workshop Morrow white, probably from P3. Not doing too far back. There we go. Better angle, I think, for everyone. Something very drowish. Like I don't know if I've just managed to not pick up her skin while I've been doing spraying, so her skin looks very dark. See that very iconic stark white hair versus dark or black skin even. The back of the head is that it's not a lever with metal highlights in her hair. That'll be a tad embarrassing for her. What's that, Dorothy? Oh yeah, just been to the local bingo hall. Some nice silver tints in my hair. So, yeah, I'm not sure she'd be the type. Just getting that white in here. That's alright. Looks like we're going most of here. There's some crazy angles, so it's quite hard to show you guys, but the crux is paint her hair white. Like, yeah, there's no great trick to show you. It's just paint her hair white, do a couple of thin coats. We'll do kind of want to do like a shade. Don't want to do too dark. So maybe we do this, put in a bit of null, and then I bring it back up with dead white. I think that would probably work. Got most of my palettes are all set out. Some you kind of put down and go, does that look enough? Does that look, enough to it? I'm not sure. We'll come back to it. And in the meantime, we've got some skin to do. Obviously, I put down do the skin white first. So maybe I should just slapped it on there as the answer. So let's get it on. Let's get some skin. So I'm going to try and avoid like where the stubble's going to be, just because it's going to be a bit different. Or actually I might do it over and then we'll end up actually painting it while we're doing the skin, perhaps. Sure, I'm getting this. It's very like subtle, very like light, bit of white onto it. Has a very stirring looking like sort of dooming angel, like having sort of almost glowing white skin. I think we'll add a glow to her eyes as we get there. But, we'll work out to a more natural looking skin tone as we go in a minute. Smooth this up a little bit. Got the back of her neck. So a little bit more around here to catch. Let's try to do it. So can leave that for a minute. We don't want to paint straight onto the wet paint bit. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So we've got the robes, the coat, the dress, whatever you want to call it. We've got that like subtle but nice little transition of colour. We've definitely got the darker and the lighter areas. Obviously this section here is going to be white. We'll come back to it. We could just do it now. I got the coat. I think we start with a grey on the coat and like work its way up rather than being pure white. But then that's there. Obviously we'll have to do this top section, which is going to be like the gold. So we'll see the gold all the way up through to the. I was going to say the white, but like behind it, it's not going to be catching the lights. It's probably just going to be a lazier gold, and then we've got the lady herself. We've got these kind of like lightning strikes of light almost in the spear and sword that we put in here, and obviously the different layers of gold all the way up through to chrome, and then obviously the steel through to chrome for the non-gold metals. Yeah, which has worked out right. And yeah, basically doing this head here, parchment, glows, done. So I think 10 o'clock, so we've got a little while. It is crazy hot here. I don't know how hot it is where everyone's watching, but whoa. Whew. It's be hot here. So I want that just to dry off for a minute, and then we'll do like a thin. Where's my skin tones? We'll do like a elf skin tone, I think. Are we gonna do pale flesh? We'll just go straight to pale flesh, maybe. You'll do pale flesh, then a Raglan flesh shade on it, and then highlight again of pale flesh on top, through to like almost white. It's like the top highlight, and I think like around your eyes we'll do like just this very subtle blue glow coming out, which will be emulated and the runes and stuff. So that's the plan. So we'll start with, let's put these whites aside. We'll pick up the pale flesh. We'll go from there. So yeah, we're doing pale flesh to get there's only a little bit of skin on show, so I'm not going to worry too much about putting much on my palette. It's not a huge difference to the white. But there is a difference. It's like a... Yeah, you want to... If you have some white skin, you need to start really light, I think. Otherwise you risk ending up looking a bit sort of leathery. You just get like this accidental old effect. We do not want to mix chrome. That'll be an interesting look now. You don't want to. She's not like a rave. Yeah, so basically, yeah, you can start with a. As I was going to do, I was going to start with this elf skin tone, which is a little bit darker. But, I think it'll end up. We're going to do a shade after this pass anyway. Yeah, and I kind of don't want to darken it down if I'm starting too dark. Kind of lose. Lose what I'm going for. So I'm just going to get this. Section, my face down to lips, and then the tricky bit of make sure she's washing behind the ears. So I think we've mostly got it. Let's make sure we get our ears themselves in a random like stark white ears. I'm just gonna add a little bit more, so you see like the camera sheet. So I can see. So It's a little bit more pinky, but with the light, it's kind of like necessary for the camera, I think. It's a pain in the ass. It's a little bit harder for you guys to see, perhaps, but trust me, that's what we got. So nearly done here. Down to the jawline. It's like lovely, like very defined cheekbone. Like her features are so well picked out. So this top section here is going to be like where the shape of the undercut is. I need to do my undercut badly. It's a reminder here. She's just looking at me, judging me for having her hair done more recently than me. But so let's get this last section again. So cheek, brow, eyebrows, all up to the ear line. Don't worry if I'm getting above it. Nose, lips, cheekbones. Alright, let's swish by there. So leave that for a moment. If we wash my brush off, let's see if I can show you. Let's see how much the camera versus the light will work. Look at that, you see that cheekbone. So you can't really see the pink shade that is in there at the moment, but it's there. Trust me, it's there. So we're going to just leave that to settle for a minute. That's the skin. We'll end up with, like I said, a shade on top of it, which is pretty cool. Once this fine lady's done, I'm like torn between do I pick up the other one, the banner chump, whatever his name is, just to paint him, or I've got a Grimkin army I need to put a bit of work into, so that might be actually next. So I've got physical games and the physical tournaments to play them in, so best get them sorted sooner rather than later. So just gonna leave her at the moment. Yeah, we'll do a quick little review, right? So obviously okay, right, it helps if I zoom back out. This is how far we can zoom out. So this is what I'm seeing compared to what you guys are seeing, sort of like that. But yeah, I'm really happy with the armor. I think it looks pretty cool. We've got I think I caught a few lines where it's a little bit too heavy on the chrome, but I think I can live with it. Well, I can at the moment. We do like the last pass, I'll play like just a little gold there, a little chrome, a little gold. Yeah, we've got this whole lineup of the armor through all the gradients of gold through sort of white gold and chrome, and steel's the same. We've got these flecks of additional light we've added, just like always be like lightning. So hopefully that's the plan, is to basically extend the glow. We'll find out. I might not do it in a minute. Extend the glow to the blades. That'll look nice. So we've only done a little bit of that, so that should be okay by now. We're going to just put a bit of Vitalin Flash shade on. Let's look for a suitable brush. It should be okay. So I'm going to put this on, this will darken it down. So just going to wash it down to make it darker, and then we'll add a highlight from there of the pale flesh, basically. So let's pick her up, move some stuff around. And we'll go up to the hairline. Really let it get into the hair as we're doing it at the same time. Should be quite strong. Again, then we're going to do it through the hair. Because the hair is going to get that top up as well of Corax Y, or in this case, Dead Y, for us on the Valeos. So less of a glare on her face. I'll make sure that's fitting in the right areas, which I think it is. Cool. Alright, so we're going to wait for that. It's looking pretty nice as it is. But yeah, it's nice to have that little bit extra. Just going to change my water quickly. I have water. Came the water in Mallorca for a minute there. Don't judge my awful accents. Cyril, thanks for the follow, buddy. I appreciate it. So just putting the skin tones on. At the moment we've done the metallics pretty much. We've got like a couple of like little mini fixes, but we've got this beautiful selection of golds. So if you're interested, the gold is we've started with Zenithal. So it's just been like Vallejo prime and black, and then white on top of it. And then yeah, basically just Vallejo metal color gold on all the gold sections. Steel on the non-gold metallics, and then we've worked our way up. So the gold, we've got washes of Nuln Oil on the steel, Reichland Flesh Shade gloss on the gold, and the gold's basically been highlighted again with metal colour gold, and up through metal colour gold mixed with some chrome to get this, and then full to pure chrome for like the very fine lines. We've done a similar thing with basically just steel to chrome with the yeah, it just makes things like easier for you, right? So same as like if you've got the ability, you've got time. You can't see the stairs. You can't see it too much on, but you definitely see it on the tree, right? So, or you can definitely see it on like that, like the amount of detail like that it lets you see. Obviously, forget about the front of him that's currently unattached. Again, right? These are things that the people don't get. Like if you're not taught by to paint, if you're just picking it up, it's easy to not realise how like a valuable tool doing something like sub-assemblies can be, or how cool Zenithal can be. Like I've seen people that have done like concept armies, and they could have saved themselves like so much time by basing Zenithal here. and then like giving it a couple of washes, and then be like pretty much done. Yeah, as she stands, it's a wonky line. It's going to set someone off, isn't it? Yeah, as she stands, we've got these nice flecks of artificial flecks in the blade. I've done them on both. A bit more pronounced on the sword. I'm sorry, on the spear. And then yeah, we've got all that gradient of gold through to chrome. I think it works really nice. This is my first Stormcast model. I've not played Age. I played Age of Sigmar before oh man. So when was lockdown? Like in February, March, 2 years ago. So I started playing Age of Sigmar, like at the end of December. I picked up a bunch of siege off one of my club mates, and then just as the new siege book was about to come out, and then basically speed painted a lot of horrors for Sheffield Slaughter, which is like my local club, the Dragon Slayers, put on a big Age of Sigmar event every year, under normal circumstances anyway. And I was like, I used to always love Siege. I had like the original Slaves to Darkness and Lost and the Damned books until I moved to this house, so fairly recently, and they were just a little bit too damaged, and I sort of just let them go. But I was like, yeah, so I made a non filth version of Change House. So I had like a big Lord of Change, so some nice transitions in the wings. I think my Lord of Change I spent an hour painting the night before. and I painted like 60 pink horrors and like 100 blues, 100 brims. It was a lot of painting. But after that, obviously we got lockdown. I kind of put Age of Sigmar down for a little while, but with the advent of the new game, I was like, oh, I want to come back in, and I've said I'm going to be playing Soul Blight, but every time I look at grots, I'm like, oh, they could be so cool, and then the competitive gamer inside me goes, no. But yeah, so there we have it though. This is like this beautiful level of gold. I'm really happy with how I've got there. So we're just going to do a little bit of highlighting on this skin. So we're going to do just a pale flesh. Just a pale flesh highlight. And then we're dry enough yet. Pale flesh on her skin. We'll do bone white on her hair. And then we've just got to finish off do the scroll work, because I haven't touched the scroll work yet, and do like the glow. Like under normal circumstances, I'd do the glow with my airbrush. I think with how it's being at the moment, it's a very risky proposition, painting small detailed areas just above there. Like I could try that, and if it goes wrong, I might have a bunch to do. But Sierra, what are you painting at the moment? Are you painting Age of Sigmar stuff, or are you? There's so many beautiful like sculpts out of different systems these days. I think we are as painters. Boy, are we spoiled for choice. Like I've got when the Lumineth Realm Lords were coming out, one of my locals was like, oh yeah, I can't wait for Techless, and I would incessantly spam him with pictures of my original Techless model I've still got from like 1990 or something. And I'm like, I've got Techless, do you want Techless? And yeah, just like the way that sculpting has come on, the detail you get is like phenomenal. Just doing her cheekbones here. So many little things at the moment. I'm working on here for Yndrasta for, and again for one of my clubmates. So I was going to keep her out of the Dominion box that I've got to paint, just to have, because she's gorgeous, right? But then I was like, I'm going to end up basically having a bunch of Stormcast that I've just got for the purposes of just looking at. And I was like, I could just instead paint for one of the guys that actually intends to play them. So that's what I've done. So that's what we've done. This is for Tom, one of my local clubmates. His Yndrasta. I was saying that the banner guy is 100% for me. That's okay. Just going to get these raised areas. I think I'm okay with where we've got the skin. And the back there is just hair, so got a very pale skin with a little bit of like a tinge, so like under the like see where the beard would be. There, the cheekbones like that. Where the dimples might be, that sort of thing. So that's her sorted. And yeah, we're left with the little bit of scroll work, a little bit of glow. So I wish my drink was colder. I tell you what, I do not regret living as far out as I do at the moment. Like I've not heard any shouts and bellows from there's no pubs in my little tiny village. So there's no roaming bands either full of joy or sorrow to worry about waking kids up and stuff, which is nice. So yeah, we're looking close. So we're going to pick up the scrolls. We're going to do like a bone white. We've got bone white out. Yeah, bone white out, flesh shade, and then we'll do a dead white highlight. Nice and simple. And then obviously we'll put the red after we've done the flesh shade. So we'll start with the bone white. This should be nice and straightforward. It's not like such a big section. I need to be checking how my compadre is choosing to do his basing. If he knows, he might not know how he's doing it, so it might end up doing a very basic base. We'll see. We'll see. That's not coming out a lot. Let me look for something spiky. I need. Paperclip. So apparently it's not a paperclip. And it's decided not to give me any paint. It's got some flow improver and some airbrush thinner, all sorts of kaleidoscope of dominoes crashing around as we try and find a bit of something. There you go. Yep. There we go. So let's get some of this paint out and get the scroll work done. far down. So, in a second, we'll have this. There we go. I've obviously put way too much on now. So we're going to do this little bit of scroll work. I think I'll find this side paint brush. If you're interested, these lovely paintbrushes I'm using are the Broken Toad CB3, which are lovely. Not sponsored by them, but they're just lovely. I think I've got some of the Broken Toad, like, are they involved in the Legend and the Labyrinth things? I'm not sure. I've got some amazing Skeksis busts from Dark Crystal. I said Legend and Labyrinth, I meant Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. Yeah, I've got some gorgeous Dark Crystal busts of the Chamberlain from the Skeksis and the Scroll Keeper. So that was like a Kickstarter thing way back in like early, was it even in early lockdown? It might have been before lockdown actually started, but it's between lockdown and Brexit happening with like supply chains, it was significantly delayed. Which I'm guessing from some of their communication was a problem for some people. But I was kind of like, well, I've paid my money; they'll turn up when they're ready. So yeah, I wasn't so fast. I figured, you know, there's you got to give companies, especially companies that aren't like, you know, huge, like multinationals and stuff, got to give them the benefit of the doubt and a bit of wiggle room when significant changes happen, like beyond their control. And I was like, well, can't get much more significant than like Brexit kicking in and a global pandemic at the same time. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty understandable. They're going to be behind. So I think they ended up being like maybe 6 months. Might be longer than 6 months. But they look fantastic. Like, I'm looking forward to painting them. Those are just a project of love. Like, I love the Skeksis. I think they're super characterful, super cool. I'm an awful person in that I haven't watched the Netflix series. I should do. It's on my list. It's on my watch list. Man, my watch list is humongous though. It's on my watch list. I shall watch it before I die. But, yeah, I'm super looking forward to actually watching it. So we're just going to just got a bit of, what did I say? This is just like bone white. So just putting that first layer onto these scrolls. Make sure it's not too thick. We've got and that's just gonna wait to dry. In the meantime, we've got glow on each side. So we might tackle that now. The glow in question is going to be electric blue. But first we want a bit of warm white, so what we'll do is basically put in just a standard stark white in these areas I want the glow to really come through. So we'll do that first, and then while the scroll is drying, hopefully we'll get there. So we're doing this rough and ready. So this is intentionally like around the runes rather than just on the runes. Because we want to have like that core of the rune, and also the glow in like the indent, but also around it. As we said, this probably should carry on to down the weapon a little. So put the first one in. I'll come back in a second to read this all. While we're here, hello. Let's put this back in the camera a little bit, so we're doing something more interesting. Just catching. Catching the hair a bit now. Excitement of painting a bit of hair. Yeah, we're gonna do like we're nearly there on this part. Obviously, we've got the inner section of the dress, the robe, the cape. I think cape's probably like the most like appropriate part, maybe. Looks good. Okay. So I'm happy with the hair. That's just a little bit of a tweak. Back to the whites. So I'll take like a little bit to dry before we get the glow in. If we've got any kind of overspill, will only just encourage me more to drag the glow onto the weapon. This thing should work out quite nicely. And the last bit is just this. Right, so That's the next section done. Let's have a little look how the scroll work. Like we're using, because we're using the airbrush paints, everything's really thin, everything's like nicely quicker again there, so we can just jump straight onto the shade with the scroll work. And again then, by the time we finish the scroll work, we'll see, like, we might be alright to do the glow, but at the same time you've got to be a little bit careful. So just like immediately soaking up into the writing on the parchment. Make sure we're getting the colour off without accidentally sort of trailing a shade onto a new part of the that we don't necessarily want to. You see there that's gone on way too much, so we just drag it where we want to with the brush. See, there's the flip side. There's this bit of a little bit of comet off the side of the arm that I hadn't actually noticed. So might be we have a little bit of work there. Just kind of just picking it out there. The colours, make sure we've got the shade where we want it to be. It's fine. Back. It's gonna be fine. So I'm just gonna get in there. Wash that off separately. So yeah, we're looking pretty close here. I think it was probably got like a highlight to do maybe on the red gems, and on the spear like haft, and the sword like bindings. But apart from that, we're getting close, which is good. Leave that white. If I could jump to. Still now, we've got some time. I want to be making sure that white is really dry before I touch the blue to it. So let's go back to the bloody red, which is the highlight. Let's move these whites out of the way. We're done with you. Thank you, your work is done. It wasn't for now. I've got this it's really thin highlight we'll be doing onto the gems, and then onto, like I said, then onto the halves and stuff like that. So let's get a little bit of light there. To the top, a little onto the top. And then I feel like this is almost dry brush worthy. So that's what I'm going to do. Rather than punishing myself, just look for a small dry brush. There you go. And that's what we'll do. We get the lid off. So we'll just do just doing. Let's not lose my stuff. This dry brush up the haft. These raised sections. And same then on the hilt of the sword. A little bit. And we're going to go from here. What have we got? Glow, parchment. Again, that's going to be like a dead white highlight or dry brush on the scrolls to finish them off. So here's get off a brush quickly. Look at all the rooms to choose from. If you've got a sink on hand, where you can paint from, oh, the difference it makes. So here we have it. Here we have the very last stages to be done. We've got that's there. We've got the stubble, even like a little bit of grey. Hair's done. Scroll work's going to take maybe a couple more minutes to do. So let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at the blue glow. So we needs to be. Let's have a look. Might need to be a bit of. Do I want my electric blue or my magic blue? This question. Let's have a look. Yeah, the electric blue's good. So we just want like a tiny bit of electric blue. Do I dare to put it on with the airbrush? Too strongly, maybe white. We might have done too much white, but it'll be fixable. Let's move this across up easier. So a little bit too heavy on the white, so I'm just going to, so out of necessity, do a little bit too on the wash. Now we can fix it up at the end with base like these last bits of highlights on the metal. And I'll pull this off there. fine. I feel like this is like the shoddiest bit of work. It's not coming across at all well. So these might get just redone. So I don't know if I've just done a little bit too much on the white. And it's just lost like that subtlety. Instead we've just got like a big blob of white. With but what we will do, I said it's a fixed thing, so it's fine. So you just add some more highlights on the blades around it. This is what we'll end up doing. Pull that up a little bit. Pull that up a little bit. So we'll still go for the blue up to weapons. And we'll basically do a fix of the glow effect as we go when that cools down, which should be easy to do. It's like just a little bit of highlight. So, with that said, we leave that to dry, and then do these little sections. We've got the main body all done. So I'm quite happy with that. Like I said, forget about that. That was overzealous. I should have just stuck to what the plan was and just gone back to the airbrush. I think it'd have been alright. Like just little small areas just to do blue. But I will live with my mistake and then correct it in a minute. I've got one thing we can do. And just a little the dot onto these gems and white. And then yeah, we'll fix this up shortly, but it's coming up towards 11, so that's probably going to be done for the night. So what we'll do is fix this up. It'll be Tuesday before we pick up the brush. Oh, it's agony, right? So Tuesday will be. I might, if I'm lucky and I have time, I'll just do that fixing work in the daytime, and then we'll do basically the gold here, gold, the bottom of the robe, and the wings. Obviously we've got the diorama part of the base, so this tree and the steps and stuff, but not so fussed by that. So obviously I'll get it done, but yeah, it's not going to be like the pièce de resistance. It's going to be this is the final thing. So we'll do her first, and then from there we'll basically pick up the rest. But yeah, I think I'm happy with the metals. The wash, the Reichland flash shade is still like a little bit damp. You see on the scroll work, so I won't quite finish that off yet. But yeah, I think she's looking suitably badass, angelic warrior hero. Like, would not like to be the end of the spear. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. I've got to look me up on I'll put the video up on YouTube probably tonight if I've got time, which I should do. And obviously I've got check me out on my Facebook page. All my socials are on like YouTube, on chaosborngaming.com on my website, and obviously I've got Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Twitter and Instagram I'm a bit behind on, but we'll get there. And yeah, you'll see some of the other stuff I'm doing. And yeah, feed them social media guys. I appreciate any of the follows and the likes and stuff. Interacting with the stream is super appreciated. And hopefully it's you'll have learned something or seen something nice and gone, oh, that's cool. Or if nothing else, you'll have enjoyed listening to my soothing Welsh tones. But I don't sound as Welsh as I think I should. I don't think I sound Welsh at all anymore, but other people will tell me otherwise. But yeah, I'm happy with the way these medals have turned out. Like, I think they look pretty cool. So cool. So yeah, it'll be a fix in the meantime, and then I'll be back on Tuesday for some more. So thanks for watching, and yeah, spread that social media love. Take care, peeps. Thanks. Bye.